perhaps... I'm sorry. We have this argument at least once a week. I'm so sorry. This is incredibly unprofessional.
No, it's fine. Whenever you do finish, though, we can go to the library to continue some research, but no
Mr.
rush.
Senator, we will have this argument a different time. I have to go read cool books. Excuse me.
At this point, I'm just like rating the quality of the gold in all of these artifacts, and that's kind of like how they're rated in my mind.
Sure.
How much gold there is and how good the gold is.
It's some of them are of decent quality, but most of them, nothing is necessarily extremely eye catching to you from a value standpoint. Nothing that you would that would make your purse lighter,
Dingle
kind
tingle.
of a thing. Your dingle tingle, yep. So
Now, you don't have any, like, Lost City of Gold artifacts or, like, a big solid gold statue or something fun to look at.
Mr. Senator, I mean no offense, but you are asking questions like a thief, like a burglar, in a real bad penny dreadful. And I have to ask that you, for legal reasons, stop doing that.
And for reasons such
I'm a senator of the United States of America. I don't need to steal nothing.
And for reasons such as what your friend just mentioned, we keep those valuables in a safe place. So
Where?
we don't have... I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to say.
So
books.
books.
You get the
Books.
Yeah.
Books.
What he
Let's
said.
go look at books.
Books.
Mr. Angles.
Books can be something we can do.
She just walks out of the room in a direction.
I'm going to follow them.
Excellent.
Like, what are they doing?
Okay, so the Miskatonic University. So you are led to the Orn Library, where he says, now, this is where I first learned of the Shining Trapezohedron's existence. This is the papers, the information, the book.
So you met the Trapezohedron in this room?
No, I discovered its existence. I learned of it through reading that it existed, and he kind of hands. I think Irons is who he's trusting with this. Hands you.
I'm surprised.
It looks like a translated text. It's like written, some handwritten notes and stuff. Translated from something called the De Vermis Mysteries. And he says, now I can't bring out the actual text here to you because it's in our restricted collection. But I am happy to show you the manuscript, which should have everything that you need.
Perfect, thank you.
And he hands it to you.
I'm gonna whisper over to Grant and say, he's 3 pickles shy of a cart.
Now, so I have the document here. I can share it, and then you can read it, or I can read it aloud and just have that.
Share it to me, and I'll decide what I tell these
Yeah,
fucking
'cause-
hooligans.
Let me.
I want to hear it out loud.
I also love that you can tell when Marty has discovered some piece of 20s slang through the goddamn site, because he always just says it immediately for nothing. Does it make sense?
The thing
Only God can tell, and his
I
great guns
genuinely
have
don't know
fallen
what it means.
silent. It means it's like saying you're not the brightest bulb, or you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, or the sharpest tool in the shed. It's that.
I also just using them wrong.
Okay, paper 1 should be shared with you now, so you should be able to look that over.
All right. Shiny bauble gem. Yeah. It's a crystal of some sort. It's completely black with some crimson little things running through it. All right. Shining.
Is he just, like, mumbling
flat
this?
Surfaces,
Yep.
Roughly 4 inches thick. Yellow metal box. Is the metal of any particular type, or is it just yellow?
I am not aware.
Is it gold?
Assume it to be gold or just yellow metal.
Most likely it could be gold, but unless if I had the actual box, I wouldn't be able to tell.
Sir, do you have another copy of this, or is this the only one?
It's the only one currently, but I could get to work on making a copy of it.
Do you have a sheet, thin piece of paper?
Sure. He kind of goes up to a librarian at the front desk and comes back with a number of pieces of like notebook paper and sets them down in front of you.
Yeah, she just sets them over top so that she can like read through the thing and make notes on them. Like such that if you
Absolutely.
overlaid the piece of paper, you would
like,
be able to
lean over
see the
Grant and
notes
say,
in the thing.
Yeah, totally. You can do that.
Told you he was an assistant.
That's what I was saying.
Got the paper for him.
A gift from the Black Pharaoh of Egypt.
Oh no!
What was that? A Marty saying? "Oh no"?
That was a Marty saying,
Yeah,
"Oh no."
yeah. So
That was a Marty saying, "Oh
So
shit."
yeah, the Black Pharaoh of Egypt. Yeah, that's-
Old ones? Yeah, she's like circling old ones and like Black Pharaoh of Egypt and like scrolling over to the side, like.
That's an
questions
out
and
of
shit like
character.
that.
Ah!
Salvaged from ruins, one of their cities by the Serpent People. Professor, have I heard of any of this before?
Not really. A lot of this is fairly new to you. Nothing is necessarily
Can I roll
catching
my
your
Cthulhu
ears.
Mythos?
You absolutely can.
Let's see if I spike the roll. I don't spike the roll.
Okay, yeah.
8 out of 4.
Yeah, 48 out of 4. You kind of are kind of searching any little bit of information you may have, but nothing seems, as of what you've read so far, nothing seems to stand out to you as familiar or more important. I mean, you can assume importance however you want as a character, but nothing stands out to you.
Professor, I'm only having one real issue with this. A lot of this is standard, like spooky history stuff. If you know what I mean. Not
Oh,
to be,
yes.
crude, but
No, I understand.
Atlantis, really?
Yes. Again, like I said, this is one of the reasons why I didn't give Professor Galloway all of the information that I possibly had.
Gotcha. Understood.
I hope, what it's saying isn't true. But if it is, then I do think we should quickly find possession of this stone before someone else does.
Right. Is this library organized through in a standard fashion?
Oh, it is. If you need any
Excellent.
help finding anything, you can. It's quite easy to find
Now,
on your own.
What is this stone made of?
I'm gonna need to, sir. It's a mystery. They likely don't know, right, Professor?
I don't. From the readings I've done so far, I do not know.
Professor, I am gonna need access to the restricted section. I'd imagine a lot of this ain't gonna be in your regular books.
He kind of seems a little hesitant at that, and he says,
No, don't worry. No hesitation. I know you are not paid nearly enough as you should. I'm gonna hand
As
you
an assistant.
$300.
Make a credit rating check, Marty.
Okay. Got my first success. 68 out of 90.
Okay. He happily takes the $300. Kind of looks at it and folds it, puts it in his pocket, and he says, "I think as long as I'm watching and seeing what you are looking at, then we will have no problems."
Can I go up and be like, "Now, sir, you watching would only hinder me and my friends, and we wouldn't want that to happen, would we?"
He kind of looks at you and says, how would my presence hinder you?"
You just give me to all due respect, a creepy vibe.
No, I'll
Yeah, we don't need an assistant.
And I don't
Well,
like
I'll
your
do-
face. I'll say it.
He says, "Well,
We were all thinking it.
with all due respect to you, I don't trust you two back there with the valuable books of our
I
library."
am a senator of the United States government.
Yes.
I would never steal nothing.
Yes. Is that supposed to make me trust you more?
Yes.
It absolutely.
I'm a well-respected individual who would not steal no dirty book.
Professor,
I'm not gonna pick up anything.
Do I look like
Professor,
the kind
I
of
won't
guy
let
that
the
reads
senator
books?
out of my sight.
Make a persuasion check, Irons.
I'm gonna steal a book just because. That guy
Yeah, now I'm gonna do it.
Jesus Christ.
now I'm gonna.
You're gonna fucking kill me, the lot of you. Oh no, my charm is the same as my persuade. Failure by 5.
Oh, you could spend 5 luck.
I could try to charm.
but I have 42 luck.
That's
Could I
also
also
fair.
could I also try to charm and say, "Don't worry, just take the money, go out and have a nice date. Would you like a pasta?"
Yes, you can, but it's gonna need to be an extreme success because he does not like you very much.
Ah! It's a 79 out of 55.
Okay, he looks at you and says, "Look, no, I mean, sir, I can give you your money back."
Oh, I'll take it back, thank you.
He hands it to you and he
Can
says,
I intimidate and say, "No, sir, keep the money. Let us go in there alone." Or else.
"This is gonna. I mean, he is kind of. Hold on.
Can I
let me think
assist the professor?
Yeah, I was gonna say he is not having this anymore because he's like he says, "No, I if you want to go back there, I'm going back there with you. That's final."
Professor, if you could give me and my compatriots just a moment, please. I apologize. Just give us 1 second.
He kind of nods
boys?
his head.
Sirs, just 1 second, and just like, beckons them around a corner.
Yeah, I follow.
Mhm.
Gentlemen, I have potential opportunity to go into a forbidden part of a library with that smart guy, where he's going to show me all the cool books that say all the interesting things about all the spooky stuff that I've spent my whole life on. You are not going to fuck this up for me.
How were we fucking it up? We were trying to get it so you could steal one of the books.
Exactly.
Senator, I don't want to steal one of the books.
What?
Look,
I thought that was why we came here.
I'll distract him
Senator,
with my charm. You steal
I
one of the
thought-
books. It'll be great.
Senator, I thought that you were a senator and therefore didn't understand the definition of stealing. Oh, wait, no. You don't understand the definition of truth. I forgot. That's the one.
Ooh,
I'm a
burn.
senator.
Gentlemen,
I thought that was implied.
gentlemen, we don't need to steal a book.
All right.
We can
I'll steal
just
one
read
book.
them.
Okay.
We
Steal
have
one
I'll
book.
try one
unrestricted
time.
access to them. There's no need to steal them. He's going to take me back there, and I'm going to get to read as many as I like.
Oh, now, but that's just boring.
Senator,
I want.
there is going to be so much shooting scary shit in the face in just maybe a week.
All right,
Just
all right.
Hold on. for
Be
it.
quick about it. I'm gonna go try to find Mo. Go.
But I'm gonna imagine stealing
Absolutely.
those books.
You do exactly that, Mr. Grant. By the way, thank you very much for the ride in the sidecar.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Real cool. Real nice. I'm going to go with that professor into the spooky part of the library.
We're
Some
gonna
cool
go.
Stuff. Please don't steal anything. Please.
We should go prank somebody.
Oh my God! This
Please
On the
also
college
don't
campus.
do that. I'm going to wash my hands of this situation. And Sheldon Irons walks away. Back professor.
Mr.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Mr. Senator Gray, Mr. Senator, I had my fingers
yes, sir.
crossed
son of
that
a,
whole
Now
time.
you son of a
you
gun.
are a genius. Let's go.
You are a genius. Is that what he says?
This is horrific.
Ooh.
Nightmare.
Cue us sneaking in behind them.
Whew, okay.
Wait, so are we coming with him or are we not invited?
No, I think we're waiting for them to go out of earshot, and then we're sneaking up behind them.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Alright.
Okay, so he does in the end end up taking you here, and he says, now the original volume that this is in, he kind of goes over to a shelf, and this room is like kind of in a behind a locked door, and it's very musty smelling. He flips on a light switch, and you see that there are a number of shelves with books. Most of them are fairly old. And he asks you, would you mind putting on some gloves, please? And he hands you these like cloth gloves. He says, just to make sure that the books don't
Of course.
get damaged. So the piece of literature, he kind of looks and moves through one of the shelves and pulls down this book, the De Vermis Mysteries. He kind of says, this is in Latin. This is where I translated most of the information from. And he kind of sets it down on the table. Is there...
Where's the index for this collection?
He kind of moves over and you see that there is a kind of like an opened ledger almost type of a book that has like a number of names followed by translations of names and the location of where the books would be.
Are there manuscripts for all these books, or are they all in their original languages?
Some of them have them. We are currently in the process of a professor is working on a couple. We have the he kind of moves over. Is there anything in particular you need? Some of them are incomplete, but there should be a manuscript, some translation for most of these at least.
I need everything you got on the Black Pharaohs, the old ones, the Serpent People, Valusia or Valusia, Valusia. I'm also gonna need Lemuria, Lemuri. Then we're gonna need Chem, Khem, and reference the Third Dynasty Black Pharaoh. I'd imagine that'd be rolled up in the Black Pharaoh. If there's any references to Nefer and Ka, I need anything with that. Obviously, I'll be helping you. I just figured
Sure.
you might know where to find these more. The Child of the Masked Messenger, a Queen Nitocris. The White Desert, because that don't sound like anything I've heard of. And yeah, that's about it.
Certainly, we can start picking apart. This is probably going to take a while to actually sort through and go through all of these, looking for those
We allowed to bring
specific
coffee in here?
names. If you're using a manuscript, sure. But if it's the original, I'd prefer no beverages to be near it. That'd be
Understood.
great.
We
We
use
have
that table over there for the research, that table over there for the refreshments.
sure. He says now. Do you speak or do you read? Can you read Latin or is because
A little bit.
okay?
Not as well as I'd like, but
I can grab a couple things here that may have some information. Now, this is a very, very, very rare, I guess, book. So please be extremely careful with it. And he kind of goes over to the shelf and pulls off this kind of black leather book. It would be similar in size to the kind of partially destroyed book that you had or that you have. And he kind of sets it down and he says, "This is a book filled with a lot of information about these, I guess, entities. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it is known as the Necronomicon. It is a book of very, very dark things." It is in Latin, however. And I'll say, since you do have some experience with Latin now, you do know that Necronomicon would be kind of translated to the Book of Dead Names.
does the Necronomicon set off any alarm bells?
It probably would. I'll say make a occult roll. It's going to be not a hard. It'll be a normal check.
Are we in the room or outside the room?
You're outside of the room.
Can I do a listen?
Extreme success.
Yeah, make a listen.
75.
Oh, an extreme.
Where's listen?
You know.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay, hard success. Yeah, I'll
My
say you can
God.
overhear this. You can overhear this conversation as it's happening. So yeah, with a 10 out of 75 for your extreme, you definitely know about the Necronomicon. The original was made in the year 730 AD. There are no real accounts of the original in that you can find. The only things that are left now are translations of it. This is one of those translations in Latin, and it is filled with, from your knowledge, dark histories, information about. This is something that your family would have really, really wanted to get their hands on. This is something that obviously isn't necessarily, proven. It's not like a textbook regarded in most circles, even in occult circles. It's not necessarily considered the truth. But it has information that is long lost and is greatly sought out by people like you and your family.
You have a copy of the Necronomicon.
He kind of smiles and nods and says, yes, we do. This is one of the 4 copies that were ever created in Latin that we have here. And we have, and he kind of moves back and pulls out, this is a rough English translation. It's incomplete. This is the Sussex manuscript that was made about, it would be maybe close to 200-300 years ago now, but it was translated based on that book there. And he sets this manuscript down in front of you.
This is the holy grail of
Am I hearing all of this, or just like
everything?
You're hearing pretty much all of it. You got a
cool.
hard
I'm
success.
telling Grant this.
Yeah.
The holy grail.
Not Grant,
got
Barnucle.
shit on the Necronomicon.
We are.
Now, why would I care about no Necronomicon?
Well, I thought they were talking about necrophilia or something, but it turns out it's a book or some shit.
Now, if they were talking about necrophilia, I'd be interested.
That's why I was
that
listening. I
sounds
heard
weird.
necro, and obviously the next logical thing would be philia.
Let's go see if there's a food place on this campus.
Good call. Wait, what time is
love
it?
It would be about like 2 p.m.
Oh, cool. Maybe there's some hot college babes.
Okay. I love that. Okay.
He is a ladies' man.
Yeah, like we completely lost interest.
I love it. It came off as so just like, maybe there are some hot babes we can go talk to.
A 400-pound
Your
senator.
wingman, the 400-pound Georgia, 65-year-old Georgia senator.
Oh, my lord. Okay. We'll get back to you two in a moment then with whatever that's going to be. But back with Sheldon Irons, he says, or the professor with you says, now, obviously, you can, as long as these don't leave the building, preferably the room, you can take notes, you can make, you can do research with them. Obviously, though, it is a long process to do so, to thoroughly go through all of these. It's going to take a while. And like I said, as long as we're making some progress, you will be paid $50 a week for all the research that you can help me with.
How late is the library open?
Well, with me, it's open all the time. So as long as I'm
Perfect. There any comfortable-looking bits of floor?
here. Yeah, actually, you see in the corner that there is what looks like some pillows that have kind of been piled up in the corner.
Sheldon Irons clears the pillows, lays down her bedroll, makes a nice little nest facing the door with back against the wall, lays her pack down right there, and just takes a seat and starts researchifying.
Perfect. And he takes out a couple. He kind of does this. He sits at a desk though, and has a what looks like a.
She researches at a desk. She's just setting up camp for later.
Perfect. That's fine. He kind of sits down with a book and says, now, like I said, if we need help, I can possibly allow some of your other companions in here, but they did not seem trustworthy with things like this.
Frankly, they ain't much the academic type.
Okay, good to know. Then we will lead this side of the investigation then, and hopefully we'll discover something. So, You can make me a library use roll as you're kind of going through all of these books and trying to locate anything.
With my magical pal, the man himself, Professor Engels, would I be able to get a little cheeky bonus die?
You absolutely can.
Ooh, and I'm gonna fucking need it too. Boom. Oh,
Ooh! So
went
a
from a 78 to a 28 with the bonus die out of
so
30.
you succeed, yeah. With a 28 out of 30, you do succeed indeed. As you kind of go through, so each day of research is a lot. So as you're kind of taking in, the one that you can read, presented to you that you can read pretty easily is the Sussex manuscript, because that's a partial translation of the Latin Necronomicon. So you kind of are going through that, and you're not really finding anything specific to the trapezohedron right away, but you do find some information about, other things. You're learning about other apparent places where some creatures are able to walk between. It seems like some psychotic babbling, but almost like walking between worlds is what it seems to be saying. Things that can shape and change reality, and people, and this kind of catches your attention. Humans who are able to do similar things, you kind of have flashbacks to the Corbett house, the flying knife, the corpse-like figure, and some of it seems to, I don't know, not I wouldn't say sink in necessarily, but almost become reinforced as being true. Again, you're not finding really anything in relation to the Black Pharaoh or anything like that, but you do learn some pretty interesting information. It will take a long time to go through this whole thing, but the professor, as you're kind of going through that, he kind of says, okay, this is something, and he kind of is flipping through a small, it looks like almost like a book, and it looks like it's written in German, and as he's kind of flipping through, he says, if this is right, so the trapezohedron, okay, let's see, is said to, it's interesting, it's mentioned. The lost trapezohedron is a legendary source of power connected to a being, an entity known as the Haunter of the Dark. He kind of
the dark.
He kind of is skimming through, and he says, he taps the screen, and he says, could not emerge from the dark. I don't. This is the first time I've seen mention of it in this book, but I don't think there's much else in here about it, but that's something.
She's gonna flip through the Necronomicon to see if there's any reference to the Hunter in the Dark.
Sure. And you kind of do, and it does land on a page that... let me pull this up. I did not expect it to go this way, so let me see. Put this in. Okay. Okay. Yes. This is good. You kind of turn to this page of there is something relating to the Haunter of the Dark, and it says that it is a servant of the Dark Man.
Is there a reference to the Dark Man in the book?
As you kind of flip through, you don't find any.
Got anything on a Dark Man? Not like, literally, but like capital D, capital M?
He says, he kind of sets that book down and says, I don't know.
She also just starts like flipping through manuscripts to see if there's a reference anywhere.
Yeah, as he's kind of going through, he says, "It doesn't look like I can." Not here, but you know what? I think it might be good, even though as drawing as this section is, we may actually be able to find something at the public library here.
Could we bring those books in here?
We certainly could. It wouldn't be out of the question. Absolutely. Let's bring some research in here. And
Perfect.
he kind of.
Why don't you grab some books on Egypt? You tell me the section that I should be looking in for the old dark man.
Sure. And he comes in and brings in some books, and he sets some stuff down, and he says, okay, this is all in English, so this should be pretty easy. And he actually has like books here in about the surrounding area here in New England. And pretty much right away, something that catches your attention is a book, almost like a list of religious cults. You were obviously drawn to that, and you see the starry wisdom mentioned in the book, that the thing that was mentioned earlier, and the address of its headquarters is given as Free Will Church, Federal Hill, Providence.
She notes that down in the
Yep.
in the old family hunting journal.
Indeed. And as you continue kind of reading through this, you find another book that on Egyptology that refers to a discovery in 1843 by a Professor Bowen of Providence in the tomb of an unnamed pharaoh of a crystal that shines in the dark.
Alright, Dr. Bowen clearly found the trapezohedron. Unnamed pharaoh. Are there like any descriptions of anything like that could possibly be cross-referenced to another source?
Possibly. The in the end, it kind of just loops you back to things you already know, though. The pharaoh obviously could be relating to the black pharaoh that is mentioned in the first set of notes that were translated by him, and he gave those to you. But he kind of, after he's done flipping through, this is after like almost a full day of research, by the way. It takes a while, but he says, "Okay, I think I know where our next stop is, though, to go check this out." I mean, those are two references to Providence in in relation to the stone. I think that's where we need to head next, don't you?
Well, I think that's where me and mine need to head next. No offense, Professor, but that sounds more like we're getting into the 9mm and buckshot territory than the books and notes kind of territory. And she just like sheepishly like scratches the back of her neck.
He says, I'm sorry, but I am going to go with you. This is a monumental breakthrough if we can find this, and I'm not going to miss this.
If we find it, we'll bring it back here. Ain't no thing about that, Professor. I just don't want you to get hurt in the process.
I can handle myself, thank you very much. I can take care of myself just fine.
She tries real hard not to do like really face,
Yeah.
but she totally does.
Yep. And he says, "Look. If things get tough, I'll run. I won't fight. But I wanna see things. Also, I can't imagine there's anything that's going to be too dangerous. I mean, there's this stone. It's of the utmost importance that we get this back here, and I need to be a part of this."
She just like sighs and like, "Professor," and just unbuttons the bottom of her shirt and like shows
He doesn't want to be an assistant anymore.
like scars from the gut wound. Is like, "Professor, the last time that me and mine went looking for something like that, this happened. I nearly died. Look in my backpack." And she just like buttons up the shirt again. Like, I really think that you coming along is inadvisable. No offense to you. This is just a real mean situation.
And that's fine and all, but as I am technically your employer currently, I think I'm going to have to ignore that suggestion, and
Well within your rights, sir.
he says, "Thank you for the warnings, and I will take heed of them. But this is just something I can't miss. This is too important."
Understood, sir. I'll make sure you make it out the other side all right.
He kind of nods and smiles, and
Yeah,
he
she's
says,
got kind of a forced smile on, with the whole I'm pulling the employer thing, because she was like, "Oh man, an intellectual equal."
Yep.
And then I'm your employer. Oh.
But he says, "Okay, well, first I think we need to get a night's sleep, but then round up your friends, and we will head off to I guess Rhode Island tomorrow, and that's I guess where we're heading."
Yeah, I'll be up a little while longer. You can go get some proper sleep someplace. I'll just crash in the in here when I'm done.
He kind of reluctantly. It looks like he's about to say something against that, but he kind of stops himself, and he says,
Can I roll
"Okay,
insight on that
okay.
one?
Yeah, make a psychology."
Psychology check. Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
good at that. Success, 62 out of 75.
All right. Yeah, he was definitely about to bring up that he wasn't gonna leave someone in here alone with all of this stuff. But he stopped himself from saying that, and he chose to not bring that up.
Oh, does he trust me?
Do you think so?
Oh.
Steal a book.
A little bit of that faith has...
Violate the trust.
A little bit of that faith has, like, returned. And she sort of, like, gives him a genuine smile. I was like, I'll see you in the morning, Professor.
He says, "Indeed, just make sure to lock the door if you decide to leave." And
Of course. You got keys?
yes, he kind of hands you. It's only like 2 keys. You would assume one is the building key, and then one is for this door. And he says, "All right, have a nice night. We'll
Time,
meet.
Professor.
We'll meet back here in the morning."
That we will.
And he
If
turns
I'm
and
not
walks out the
awake
door.
by the time you're coming in, if you're coming in real early, just keep kicking till I start moving.
He says,
And she like
We'll-
gives her a big hearty laugh.
he kind of chuckles and says, "Yeah, we'll do."
Yep. Yeah, night.
Yep, you too. And he
The most awkward of
yeah, it is.
goodbyes.
and he kind of closes the door behind him and walks out. So while they were doing that,
Smart.
what are you two boys doing on campus?
I think I have forced my way into the. I have forced my way into the kitchens, like by the food hall, and I'm just like, now I'm sorry, very sorry for you folks, but this is how you bake a pie, and I'm like just baking pies and shit. And like, now you don't. Why would you use the store-bought stuff when you could just get the ingredients and make it here? And I'm lecturing them.
This is incredible.
They're like, okay, and they're just kind of like going along with you a little bit, and but they're like, they really don't. They're really they're just trying to humor you more, like they.
Now, okay, where is I turn over to Grant. What is Grant doing?
Oh, I'm passing out cards just to like every lady that I see to my business. It's got my number on it.
Grant, should we go check on Sheldon?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Now, you make sure those 3 pies get in the oven.
They kind of say, yeah, okay, and they do. They put them in the oven.
Okay, remember 400 for. Oh no, not. I mean, how strong are those ovens? Are they like good ovens, or are they like?
They're pretty good, sir. I mean, they're
Okay, 350 for
Okay.
about an hour.
okay. And they set it up and put it in. Shut the
Gonna
door.
leave.
Were we like eating? Did we get like ice cream or
tray of
something?
food with me.
Yeah.
Like ice.
Yeah,
I've
ice
gotten
cream.
one of everything they were serving. Just a plate.
Yeah, for sure. It's like mashed potatoes, some like looks like some ribs,
I also bring an extra dish for the Sheldon.
sure. At this point, I guess if we're matching it up with what timeline those two would be at, it'd be about like 7 or so now, I guess. Then, if as you're all you've been hanging around on the campus for a while now, bringing dinner to your friend, you kind of walk in. The doors to the library are unlocked. And as you walk up, you saw the door, the section that they went to, so you kind of walk up. And I assume knock on the door.
Is that door unlocked?
Yeah, you try it. It is unlocked currently. As you open it,
we just go in there.
Sure.
Go in. Yeah.
You see a number of bookshelves, and you see Irons is currently at a desk right now. I assume flipping through looks like a couple books, manuscripts. How late is it? It would be about 7 now.
Is this the forbidden room or not the forbidden room?
7. This is the forbidden room.
All right, cool.
7
Can I have
p.m. or 7 a.m.?
7 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, Irons is still awake.
Is that dude still there?
You don't see him.
All right, cool. I'm gonna take a book.
Put that back on the goddamn shelf. I swear to God.
Now I brought you food. I'm gonna cut it in front of him so that it's hard for him to see behind me. I brought you a tray.
I have eyes and a gun. Put the book back on the shelf before I pistol whip you within an inch of your goddamn
I did not take any book.
Not you.
I'm standing in between the both of them.
I saw it.
Kind of like juggling.
Hide it. I'm reaching for the
you
revolver.
can't see him. I'm sorry, but
the
you can't see him.
revolver's out.
The book's done.
And the hammer's getting pulled back.
Irons has pulled a gun.
Now, Sheldon.
You're gonna mess up all these pretty books.
Calm down.
This is a
You're gonna mess up all the pretty books.
Place of
and
knowledge.
I am
will
between
not
the two of you, so you
desecrate
will have to
it.
shoot through me to get to the other
Senator,
man. Quick, bolt!
if they try to escape with a book, Sheldon's gonna try to rush them. Just fucking tackle him and save the book.
Are you running, Jeremy? Are you?
I may have gotten a little ice cream on one of the books. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
As a treat.
Oh my god.
Not that much. It's not even noticeable.
It was just a couple drips. It was fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the book back. Get the ice cream out.
No,
of the room,
I can clean it up, but there's ice cream dripping on my hand, so I'm in the book.
Give me the book now. Give it to me now. Right now.
I imagine this is happening through me, who is yet to move out of the way.
Give me the fucking book. I swear to God.
I slump over really sad and give him the book.
Yeah, she takes the book and goes over the desk and goes, oh no, and takes out a pocket square and gently dabs at the ice cream, trying to ensure the book survives as much as possible.
Sure. Yeah, it's
Now I'm just gonna put this over here, and I slam the tray down on the research table, all with the food and drinks.
Oh come on.
I want Gareth, make me a luck check.
Can I fucking just suplex this man through a table? I swear to fucking God. Failure.
So
literally what's gonna happen is you guys are just gonna fucking ruin the entire investigation.
Some food does spill off the tray and onto some of the work that you've been working on for the past few hours.
Is it at least not the books? It's not anything precious. It's just notes.
Well, it's a little bit of both, but it was primarily your notes, which you had on your table and working on.
Get out of the room! I swear to God, Senator. Well, I am doing my absolute Senator. I'm doing my absolute best to maintain my calm. However, if the pair of you manage to damage one more of these irreplaceable, special, incredibly important books, I swear to God, I will terminate our contract so that I can whelp you.
Now, you didn't have to be so rude. And I leave.
You got ice cream.
I'm not listening. I've already left.
While
She
he's
just does her
leaving,
best to understand.
can I do a stealth check?
Jesus Christ.
If you're trying to grab...
Wait, are you trying to steal a book?
Yeah. Well,
Make
no,
a sleight of
no.
hand.
I want to stealth behind him and then steal a book.
Okay, make it stealth.
All right, perfect.
Okay, extreme.
Fucking hell.
7 out of 83. So
and-
you kind of go behind a shelf and are just kind of there. I mean, you still are aware that he's in the room, but you don't know, I guess, specifically where he is.
Hey,
ma-
at the room.
make a sleight of hand check, Jeremy.
All right, cool. And then I leave the room. I'm out of here.
Yeah. So
Get out of here.
so you just kind of randomly you just kind of find one that you can kind of like put inside your jacket pocket. It's not it can't be big, but like you just kind of grab one. It looks like a leather bound journal. You kind of grab it, shove it in your pocket, and walk out. You're like,
Jesus fucking Christ, guys.
oh my god. Whew.
Perfect.
Good stuff.
What's next for us?
Yeah, that's a good question. What's next for I guess the rest of you for the night, I
Well,
suppose.
We don't know what we haven't been updated on anything.
True, you haven't been updated on what you're doing tomorrow.
Irons locks the door.
Okay, as you guys kind of walk out, you hear the door lock.
Hey, Barnucle. I got this book. You'll never know.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Y'all remember when we were playing Call
what
of
does it say in
Cthulhu?
Do you look at it?
No, I'm going back to my place to burn it. I mean, I'll read the cover, you know.
It's the whole chance. That's DHOL chance is the title of the book.
Do I know anything about that?
As you kind of flip through, do you speak German?
Die Meisterfinster. That means no.
It doesn't. It just doesn't.
Okay, you don't really know much about it as you flip through. The author of the book you can tell is a person named Heinrich Zimmermann, but other than that, you can't really pick out anything unless if you want to make a language German roll, which has a 1% chance of success.
Sure, I'll do that.
You can certainly try.
How do I do that?
So just roll, I guess, a D100, and if you roll a 1, then you succeed. Okay. Yeah.
Perfectly balanced, a 50.
A 50. You look at it, you can't read German, you don't know about it. It's probably nothing, right? It's probably nothing at all.
Alright. Barnucle, should I burn it? Should I keep it? I really want to burn it.
Now, I think we shouldn't give it back, but we shouldn't burn it.
Alright, that's fair.
And maybe we can give it back later as a prank. We could be like, haha, we stole one before. Oh, that would be rather real funny.
I like it.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, now I guess we'll skip time and wait for him to be done with his research.
Sure.
Sheldon Irons, for reference, will sleep with her back against the door, so that when it gets knocked on, she'll wake up.
Sure. And yeah, early morning, probably about 7 in the morning, there is a knocking at the door.
Yeah, she's up and at him. She quickly throws back on her regular day clothes and opens the door.
Perfect.
Still buttoned up, throwing the vest over as she says hi. Howdy, Professor.
Professor Engels, who is standing there, says, "All right. I think I'm mostly ready to go. I'm all packed up. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but that's fine. I'm too excited because we are going to make some discoveries. Is everyone ready? Are you ready to go?
It won't take more than 2-3 minutes. Pack up my little camp here.
Perfect.
Get on going.
Sounds good. Did you?
Would I be able to take any of these manuscripts with me? Or are they a little too
Any-
precious for the library?
Any notes that you made, you can take with you, but the manuscripts themselves, I would prefer if they remain here.
I knew I should have spent more time copying the.
The guy
manuscripts.
noticed the missing book.
He does not. I mean, he just randomly took one off a shelf. So
I'm sorry, Professor. I was trying to copy over big chunks of the manuscripts that seemed useful, but I kind of got lost in the weeds in a couple of them, got down a couple rabbit holes. I didn't get all that far, but she just like dumps a stack of papers on the desk.
he kind of looks at it and goes, "Well, I mean, that's quite a lot of good work. Say, if you ever need any work, and we're constantly need people to help transcribe information here. So if you ever
Really?
need anything, we could certainly use assistance here. Yes."
She's just beaming.
Yeah.
You mean I could just read all these books?
Well, yes, we need people to make not just these. We need people to do it for the other books in the library as well. But we do need help cataloging, and you seem to be quite adept at that and researching and gathering information. So certainly, if you need a job or anything like that, we can certainly help provide you one.
Well, that's a mighty generous offer, Professor. Thing is, I'm kind of, the Senator's Batman, so it's yeah, ain't exactly got time, unfortunately.
Well, if you ever find yourself with time, let me know, and we can certainly find a position for you.
Oh, of course, yeah. If I ever got time, I'll let you know first thing.
Excellent. Where are you? Where is the senator and that other yeah, I get friend?
Mr. Craig? Is his name Craig? Grant.
I
Mr.
don't
Grant.
know if it's Greg. I just met him
Grant.
yesterday.
Mr. Grant. Yeah, Mr. That was just being muttered. Mr. Grant and Mr. Barnucle. I'm not 100% sure of where they are. But it won't be hard to find the senator, quite frankly.
Sure. I assume a senator would stand out in most places.
They do. Amongst
Okay.
senators, the good gentleman stands out
I
quite
can-
significantly.
that makes sense. From the little time I've known him, well, let's just
quite
say
a
I
character,
wanna...
ain't he?
Yeah, he is. He is. Well,
Democracy, right? Yeah.
yes, it's quite good,
We
but
the people and all that, and she kind of like awkwardly elbows him in the side a couple times.
yeah, he kind of elbows back awkwardly, like, yeah, this is. Yep. But okay, then we should find them, and then get going. I have a car that we
Yeah.
can take.
The senator's got a car. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Perfect.
I mean, we can also take yours if you want.
no, it doesn't matter to me. Just means of transport is all we need.
Oh, all right.
And he
I mean,
kind of
it might
has.
be useful to have a third car. That way we can split up 3 ways.
No, that could be good too. And you see, he does have kind of like a I wouldn't say like a trunk, but like a packed bag with him. He says, I have no idea how long we're going to be there, so I just decided to pack whatever I think I might have needed over a couple weeks. But
Yeah, it's real smart.
it's not too bad. It's about I believe it would be about 40 to 60 miles away from here, if I recall.
Oh, that ain't nothing.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It'll be not too long of a drive. Yeah, I think I don't know many people up in Providence, but it should hopefully have some accommodations for us. A hotel or somewhere to stay.
Yeah, of course. Some kind of hotel.
Yeah, most likely. Anyways,
Yeah.
should I just wait here while you go gather your companions?
Yeah, I'll go find the senator. You mind if I ride with you, just so we can, go over the case notes and stuff like that?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll just put my bag in the car then.
Sure thing. It's out front.
Yeah, and she just like awkwardly wedges this like massive hiking bag in
Yep.
the back.
Yep. I like it.
She of course takes her like go bag with her.
Yes, I assume so. I'm gonna assume you always have that, unless
Whenever
you
I
tell
drop
me
the
otherwise.
backpack someplace,
Yeah.
she just grabs the go bag and goes off to where the senator fucking of course is, because the senator is obviously where he is, of course is.
Yes.
The senator is always only where of course the senator is.
Oh yeah.
Because where else would he be?
I'm yelling at the student cooks for over baking my pies. Now, do you look at the bottom of this pie? What do you see?
He's
Does it
still
look black
doing
to
it?
you?
He's
No,
trying to help
it's the
him.
next day now.
It is the next day, so he's trying to. Oh my god. That's good though.
Senator,
Yes,
got places to be, things to do. People to
is my
see.
driver still sleeping in the front seat of his car?
It looks like it.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
knocked out.
Ugh. Now, I told him he was not allowed to sleep on duty.
Let him sleep, I swear.
Oh, no. I don't know when I need to drive somewhere.
You can just wake him
I
up.
pay him for a reason.
She just walks up and like knocks on the window of the car.
He kind of gets startled, and he says,
You're all right. You're all right. Don't worry about it.
hello.
Now, goddamn it, I told you I never wanted to
I
catch you
told
sleeping
him
in the car.
He could sleep in the car, sir.
Now, who is his boss? Me
Sir,
or
you're
you?
his boss. I'm your Batman. I usually deal with these sorts of things because it's not worth your time.
Exactly. So I expect
Exactly.
you to do it right.
And he needs to sleep so he can drive in a straight line.
Now,
and you
what?
didn't need to get drive nowhere. He's now awake and can drive in a straight line. I don't see the problem.
It's the principle.
Senator, in situations like these, I believe
I'm already getting in
they
the
can
car.
always be solved
Opening up my pie
by
jar.
a nice hash brown. You want it? Warm.
Now I don't want you goddamn hash browns.
Your loss. Do you know where Mr. Grant is?
Where was Mr. Oh, I think he was flirting with some of the girls down by the girls' dormitory.
Of course he was. I'll go find him. You can meet.
I'll be waiting in the car eating.
Yeah, you
eating
can
out
meet
the
Professor
parking
Engels.
compartment.
Professor Engels will be over by the library. His car's parked out front. So
I'm
you can
gonna
meet him
like
over there.
slap the shoulder of my driver and say, "Go there," and I get some pie on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he's like, yes, sir. And he begins to pull away, going towards the library.
And then we're off to the girls' dormitory to
Yes.
find what fuckery he's gotten himself into.
Yep.
Most likely, literally.
So, what's Grant been doing?
I'm in this kind of like lounge-looking area, and there's just like a circle of women and men too, and I'm telling the story. So I go,
In the girls' dormitory.
yeah. That's, I don't know. And then I'm like, and I says, vampire, you shall not hath my party. And then I push him into the flame, and he died. I'm a bit of a hero around here, you know.
They're like, oh wow, that's insane.
Here, everyone, take my card.
Everyone who doesn't have one already goes up and takes one.
Mr. Grant, we got
Oh,
places to be. Come on.
if you'll excuse me, ladies, I gotta do some hero work.
Yeah, they go, oh,
Hero work?
okay.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
We're going to get laundry.
Hero
Your
laundry.
laundry.
What hero work?
For a long day of heroing.
What? Just go to the library.
We picked up your diapers for your bowel incontinence.
Walk Walk a different direction than me to the library. Or the same. Sorry, Mr. Grant. I stayed up late last night reading books. It was a long one.
Must have been real
Sorry.
thrilling.
Yeah, books are. Them books are really real something, you know.
Wow, I am at a loss for words.
They're they're fascinating. They got all kinds of interesting things in them. You don't read that in the usual book at the library, no.
No.
Yeah. Well, better get going. Wouldn't want to leave Professor Engels waiting.
All right, let's skedaddle. Bye, ladies.
Bye, Cal.
Cal? You really introduce yourself as Cal?
Yeah, the younger
Carl!
generation. Bye, Bessie.
See ya.
Oh, he's so dreamy.
Jesus Christ.
See what a meat wagon that man.
Jesus.
That means ambulance.
It's absolutely.
He's a cake eater.
Dirty cat.
Mr. Grant, when did you become such a cake eater? Or were you just always this way and never let me know?
Does a cake eater mean something different where you're from?
I don't know.
Because over here it
where
means,
you're
and
from.
then I whisper into his ear.
It means both ladies.
She just turns bright red and goes, "That is absolutely not what that means." Good
It's a
Lord,
Boston
I
thing.
swear.
Ask around.
I swear, you and the senator are just trying to give me palpitations.
All right, what does that mean in Georgia?
Lord. Let's just get to the library. My God.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm not from Georgia.
Whew.
And she just bright red storms off to the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah, we're at the life. I'm headed there.
That's great. Yeah, you all kind of.
because they're going the same direction
at the Yeah, same pace, yes.
but one of them clearly doesn't want to.
Yeah. Oh, this is wonderful. You guys continue moving on, and you do make it to the front of the library where you see the cars are parked. Are you taking your bike as well?
Yes.
As well as
Yes,
the
yes, yes,
cars.
yes.
Awesome. So you guys have a little bit of a
We have
caravan
a little convoy.
started, and yeah, and you see Engels has just gotten done talking to the driver of Barnucle's car, giving him approximate directions to where they're going. But he says, if you just follow me, then you should stay good. He pats the side of the window and moves over and says, looks over to Sheldon Irons and says, "All right, it looks like we're all set. So I don't know how long it's going to be, but it shouldn't be too long of a drive. Once we get there, I think we will try to find a place to, I guess, set up as our meeting location. Probably a hotel or something that's there would be a good place to look. Yeah.
Of course.
And he says, I have a map of the place in the back there if you want to take a look at it.
Oh, great. Yeah, she just hops in the passenger and stops for a second.
We still don't
puts
know the
them
game
back,
plan here.
and pulls off her rifle and the 12 gauge and slides them right on either side of where your legs go down in the bottom, so you can't see them through the window, but they're in easy reach. And then grabs the
Sure.
papers.
Yeah. Yes, I like
I'm
it.
actually, I pull out my shotgun and I just load some buckshot.
Sure.
She does this like this is a normal thing.
I get my sword down on my I love that the fucking professor is the professor in the Duesenberg?
No, he's in his own car.
Okay. I just would love the idea of the professor watching us all just
Ready your firearms. As he pats his 38 in his pocket.
We have 2 very large shotguns.
And then a guy with shuriken.
Question mark shurikens.
Yes.
Very cool.
They are. They look very nice.
Okay.
Somehow are very
So
aerodynamic.
we're driving to
Fancy
Yes.
Matt.
Oh, a day goes by, so I heal another
She's gonna mark this thing up to no end.
Sure, and you physically can do that because I think you can draw on it, if I'm not mistaken. Using your tools.
Yup.
The
Yeah.
Crystal of Chaos.
Uh-oh. Roll20's having a fun time here.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Maybe it's just my Roll20. Oh yeah, it's good.
Could we take a bit of a break soon?
Actually, oh yeah, I was thinking, since I have a thing coming up soon, I was probably going to end the session a little earlier.
Okay.
So I was thinking once we actually arrive in Rhode Island, we'll just end for today.
Cool.
Just because then I'll have time to
Yeah, get yourself all set for that.
get ready. Yeah, because I still need to shower today. And,
Ah, yes.
yeah.
One entire.
Even though I'm not like,
I do as well.
but yeah. So pretty
Or
easily,
less.
you all do arrive at Rhode Island, and there is a hotel that you're able to find called the.
Baltimore?
Yes, the Baltimore Hotel. There we go. That is pretty nice. It's decent enough. It's comfortable, but it's not. Maybe it's not. Necessarily filled with class and style. If you're looking for that, though, there is the I don't know how to pronounce that. Narragansett.
I'm going right there. I'm having the.
That is an
right there.
old and prestigious hotel. So you're going to that one, Marty?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one just to get in requires a credit rating check.
Just to get in?
Yeah, just to get in the first place, you need to make a credit rating check.
Oh, hard
Okay.
6. I've been here
Yeah,
before.
you maybe have been here before.
Oh, Charles, how is it going, my
It's
friend?
been good, sir.
Thank you. Just if he leaves that car, tell me. I will fire him and rehire him faster than you could say Buttercup. And I'm going to.
Are you going to a top?
Bring
Are you
my-
going to a top floor suite? I assume.
Yes.
All right, sir. That's going. We will get that right up to you. So that's going to be $75 a night. But that's nothing for you.
That is nothing. Can you have 2 bottles of champagne brought up to my room? I like to call that my midnight snack.
Certainly.
Am I able to join him in this hotel?
Do you go in? Do you go in with him, or are you going in separately? From
I would
him?
like to go in with him.
Okay, then if you're with him, so they assume.
Yeah, this man is this looks very weird.
And
we are acceptable
Sheldon
of
Irons
all-
walks
all
in.
social
no, that's not
situations.
what's going on.
Yeah, and as the professor walks in, walks by and sees this, he's like, he just kind of like nods his head and like that makes sense. As he's like, this place is a little too nice for me. I think I'm gonna go to the other place. But
Oh no, the suite. How many bedrooms does the suite have?
sir, it has 4, but depending on the room, of course, we can have the beds sizes. Obviously,
Also, give me like we'll all stay here. If it's only $75 a night, I'll cover it. Yes. Bring up. What do you guys want to drink tonight? I kind of gestured.
I'm right, all right, sir.
I'm fine with
Are you
just
sure you
some,
don't want? Okay.
some giggle water.
Get her top. What's the top shelf whiskey?
Sir, I'm
Get
right,
him,
all right. Thank
do
you. though.
No, I'm sorry, but you're not.
oh god.
Have you ever tried Fernet Branc? I go over to Grant.
Zerne, what?
Fernet.
I'll try anything once.
Yeah.
Is
Do
the
you
professor
have
still here? Cause
Yep, the professor's still here.
Oh man.
The professor just is just kind of looking at this and. That makes sense. Yeah.
Get me 2 bottles of Fernet Branc. That's a good after dinner snack. And what is your room service options for tonight?
Well, sir, we can bring up anything that you may need, of course. But
Looking for around 3 courses.
3 course, we can certainly do that. Do you have anything in particular that you're looking for?
Wonderful. What's in season right now?
Well, I believe, obviously, being so close to.
You know what? It's up to the chef. Tell me to fix me
We'll
something.
do. Are you okay with seafood?
I love seafood.
Perfect. That will be good. We get some of the freshest stuff around, so we will have that barred up to you for your supper tonight.
And I'm just gonna check with you first, and I look directly at Sheldon Irons. You aren't allowed to set fires in the room, correct?
Unless if it would need to be a candle flame or lower, sir.
She just like frowns at him
That's what I-
very intensely.
Thank you. That's all I was asking for. I'm not going to be doing anything like that. However, my associate here likes to do it wherever she
Now
goes.
that just ain't so, sir. You know that's true.
You did it in a motorcycle
And, sir,
sidecar.
this is not an appropriate time to be having this conversation. I apologize. Sir, why don't you head on up to the rooms?
You're a
Sir,
pilot.
why don't you head on up to the rooms?
We're gonna
I'll
go to our
figure
room
out
now.
I'll figure
have
out the rest of the details for you. All right?
Yeah, no, I already paid. We're good. Well, it's on my tab, so I don't think I'm gonna have to pay yet until we leave.
And then the professor says, should we let you and Grant go up first to choose your room and stuff, or would you prefer us to?
Yeah, y'all can go on ahead. I'll sort everything out with the front desk.
No, we're all gonna come up together and check out the room. Why are we going up in two separate groups? They'll have the bellboys grab all our stuff, and they can yell at my driver for me.
I just got to clear up a few details, Senator, before anything else. And while you may be very used to this sort of fancy things, the professor may not be, so I can show him the ins and outs.
What do you
all
mean?
of the fancy service stuff, you know, the fanciness.
He is a professor in the Miskatonic University. This man knows his pleasures.
You just sort of like frowns and like, yep, I guess you're right. Probably does.
I've stayed in places similar to this before, but it's not by any means a regular occurrence.
I am getting the suite whether or not you people are here or if I'm just here alone. There's 3 extra bedrooms I am not using that are far nicer than any other hotel in this city. It's up to you.
I will gladly take a free room. I'm not going to turn that away. So, thank you, sir.
I go upstairs and crack open one of those bottles of champagne.
Yep.
I am, as he goes upstairs, just gonna tell the driver, just knock on the window and go, hey, just so you know, I know that you were told not to get out the car, but if you do get out the car and you tell the senator that I told you you could, I'll get yelled at instead of you.
Right. Gotcha.
That's all I'm saying.
He kind of nods his head and kind of smiles a little bit and says, "Right.
Go get yourself some sleep,
I
all right?"
understand."
I am going to chew this shit out of him.
Go catch your.
I'm gonna.
What are you chewing?
I'm gonna go over to one of the bellboys that's like bringing up the booze to the room. I'm gonna say, hey, here's $50. Go downstairs and tell me if my driver gets out of my car.
So you said this guy
I've done
doesn't
this
watch.
too many times, haven't I?
Oh, this is good.
Go catch.
And I think that's where we're gonna. I think that's where we're gonna end the session for tonight.
I wanted to end the session.
God, I love how our characters interact with each other. Oh my god. Oh,
It's so bad.
It's so good.
We're gonna steal a book. Why? Great question. Figure it out fucking later, asshole.
Oh, that's too good though.
Jesus Christ.
My God.
All right.
My God.
Oh god.
This is
All right.
shaping up to
Well,
be something good. I'm enjoying the
It
intense, unable to speak to each other of the professor and Irons. It's real good.
Yep.
Well, good night. Yep. Good night.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night. Hey, see you tomorrow,
Yeah,
right?
see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. Good night.
Toodles.
Ooh. See ya.